Hello, everyone. We are finally live. It's June 16th. It's currently 9:27 p.m. I know I said I was going to go live 9:30, 9:40, but I decided to jump on a little early. It's going to be a short little live, but tonight we're going to talk about the Jennifer Soto. We're talking about Madeline Soto, but we're going to talk about Jennifer Soto. Now, if you don't know who Jennifer Soto is Madeline Soto's mother. If you haven't seen what we were talking about, I suggest you go back to part 1 and 2 where part 1 we talked about Maddie and what happened to Maddie. Part 2 we talked a little bit about Stephen Stearns. It was a quick little thing I did. Tonight we're going to focus on Jennifer Soto, and I have some articles and things that we need to read. I am still looking for her where she talked to PD, like on the affidavit. It's in some of these affidavits. I have so many affidavits, but today we're going to do part 3, and we're going to talk about Jennifer Soto. And then next week on Monday, I think it's the 23rd, we'll come back and we'll talk about Stephen Stearns part 2, and we'll read all the affidavits and everything regarding Stephen Stearns. And then the next day, that Tuesday, we'll talk about how Maddie's friends and family reacted to finding out what had happened to Maddie. Because tomorrow I want to talk about the Ocean Gate. I don't know if y'all guys remember that, the Ocean Gate submersible. I've seen the documentaries and I was like, man, I really want to talk about it because it's been like 2 years now. So I was like, you know what, let's talk about it. So I do want to talk about it. I got some like links and stuff that we can look at. I finally got my Discord to work on my computer, so I'm a little happy about that. So we haven't joined my Discord, but from where we last picked off of, we talked about Stephen Stearns a little bit. So today, I have 2 of them open. Oh, there it goes. So today I want to talk about Jennifer. Not that, but I do want to talk about Jennifer Soto. And I did say we were going to go to the timeline. I think this was the timeline. I don't remember what we talked about. I don't remember. We didn't talk about this. Okay, so before we get into what happened, let's visualize the timeline. Now, I give a huge shout out to Crime Timelines because they do give information very good. They do have some cases on here that I do want to talk about. The one I want to talk about next is Emily Pike, and it has information regarding that case. So probably after we get finished with Madeline Soto, we'll talk about Emily Pike. I am going to upload a vlog, not a vlog, but like a short about Finny the Legend. I know we were supposed to talk about it the other night, but I got busy. StreamYards was being weird. StreamYards has been acting weird lately. I don't know what's up with StreamYards. But my disclaimer, everything I say is all alleged in my opinion. It's for educational purpose only. I get my sources from trusted resources and sources. I'm not responsible for anyone else's actions, concerns, comments, sources, whatever the case may be. So let's just jump right into it. I want to end this live like around 10:30ish. So just a quick little live. So February 25th, 2024, which was that Sunday, they were celebrating Maddie's 13th birthday. So Maddie had turned 13 on February 22nd, and she celebrates with her family on the 25th. So when this case had came out, Madeline Soto was celebrating her birthday with her mom's side of the family, I believe. So like her grandma, her cousins, everybody. It's still not confirmed. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not that Jennifer Soto didn't attend the birthday party. So Jennifer Soto, from what people said, allegedly she works for Disney. She works for Disney at night. I think she's like a travel agent, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Stephen Stearns was there. I'm not really sure. I have to go back and look at that. Hi, Janelle. I'm doing good. How are you? So yeah, remember February 25th, she was celebrating her 13th birthday. February 26th was the day she went missing. So literally the next day she went missing. At 7:35 a.m., the surveillance footage shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in the trash. We already know he was throwing the items he threw in the trash were her backpack and her laptop. From 7:50 to 8:31, his car was seen leaving and returning the apartment complex several times with Maddie's body visible. Again, remember, Maddie was already deceased when Stephen Stearns was driving all around the car. It's still to this day unclear how Stephen Stearns was able to get Maddie's limp, deceased body. I hate to say it like that, but it's still unclear to this day how Stephen Stearns got Maddie's body into the passenger seat without anybody even noticing. You're good? That's good. I hope you have a good Monday. I know today's your Tuesday, no? Between 8:10 and 8:40, Stearns claims he dropped her off near school because Maddie was embarrassed by his car. Video, however, shows the car driving away. Madeline never arrived at school. We all know Maddie never went to school. He never even took her to school. There's no surveillance footage of her physically walking to school because she was already deceased. At 9 o'clock, Jennifer said she woke up. 9:30, Jennifer left the residence to go to an appointment to have blood drawn. She didn't see Stephen before she left. Now, I have to find an interview where she said that she did, in fact, speak to Maddie right before she left to school. I think it'll come out on here in these videos I say, but allegedly Jennifer Soto said that she talked to Maddie right before she went to school, whatever, that she talked to her the night before regarding her birthday party. Now, keep in mind, Jennifer Soto does have a lot of inconsistencies in her timeline and her interviews. You're going to see a lot of things about Jennifer Soto that's going to make you go, what the is wrong with this lady? I kid you not. Because when this case came out, I was like, what is wrong with this mother? At 9:40, a Holiday Inn parking lot surveillance shows Stephen removing what appears to be a limp body from the passenger seat and placing it in a car trunk. We all know he got Maddie's body from the passenger seat and threw her in the trunk. At 2:30, so from the time frame from 9:40 to 2:30, Stephen Stearns was riding around with Maddie's deceased body in the trunk. Tuesday, 12:03 in the afternoon. So far, so good. That's good. Are you getting any cold weather? Remember you said it was cold. Lucky you with the code. So between 9:40 and 2:30, he was riding around with Maddie's deceased body. At 2:30, a flat tire stops Stearns near Hickory Tree Road. He changes it before he moves body. Before moving Madeline's body off site. So he went to Hickory Tree Road. He discarded Maddie's body. He went up a few miles, got the flat tire. That's where the eyewitness said that they saw him in the side of the road changing a flat tire. At 4:30, Jennifer Soto arrives at Hunter Creek Middle School to pick up Maddie, but discovers she never made it to school. 8 p.m., Maddie is reported missing. Stearns claims he dropped her off near the school, but her phone was left at home. So throughout the day, Stearns visits several locations per his account: McDonald's, the vape shop, Target, comic store, but GPS and camera stamps reveal inconsistencies. So when we do these Stephen Stearns lives, I think Crime Timeline actually put the ping locations that Stephen Stearns was. We're going to take a look at that, and I think, too, they actually got where his phone was pinging as well. So we'll take a look at that, too, when we talk about Stephen Stearns next week, I think Monday. So like he said, like I said, between 9:40 and 2:30 p.m., that time frame, he was riding around wherever he was going with Maddie's body still in the car. In the evening, Stearns resets his phone later, claiming it was accidental while updating. So obviously the next day they're going to question Stephen Stearns and Jennifer Soto. So Stearns knew he was fucked because he had all these actual assault videos and pictures he took of Maddie. So he thought, oh, if I reset my phone, it's not going to pick up nothing. And it did. Cops ended up picking up video and images and other disgusting things of him doing these horrible acts to Maddie. Now, always be clear, no matter if you try to factory reset your phone, PD is still going to get evidence. Even if you try to factory reset, even if you try to burn your phone, PD is still going to get the evidence that they need. So February 27th, which was that Tuesday in the morning, the public missing person alert was issued. That's when they put out the poster, keep a lookout for Maddie. The authorities questioned Stephen Stearns, who changes details of his account. Search efforts commenced across Kissimmee and St. Cloud, involving over 100 personnel. That Wednesday, which would be day 3, February 28th, the morning, Stearns is arrested on actual battery and possession of child porn or child actual abuse imagery charges. Consent to search his phone is obtained. Dumpster evidence recovered. Madeline's backpack, laptop, and Crocs are retrieved, helping to trace her final moments. So 3 days after Maddie went missing, they ended up charging Stephen Stearns and arresting him because they found all these horrible images and everything on his phone. He got 60 plus charges. February 29th, which is day 4, Thursday, 2:45, authorities confirmed Stearns never dropped Maddie off at school and suspects he moved her body that morning. Forensic unit processed the residence. So tonight we are going to talk about the sleeping arrangements and basically how they lived in that house, because according to documents that I heard, is the house they were living in, Jennifer Soto was renting out from her father. And it was Jennifer, Stearns, Maddie, and I think they had 2 roommates and another little child. But keep in mind, if you haven't seen part 1, Maddie never had a room. Maddie had a little makeshift room that they made in the living room. But yet, Jennifer Soto gave Stephen Stearns a whole room to himself, right? She gave her boyfriend a whole room to himself and not her teenage daughter. Go figure. Your phone will always tell on you. Yeah, it'll always tell on you. Especially if you have Google Drive, it'll show everything. On March 1st, which is day 5, at 4:30, searchers discovered Madeline's body in a wooded area off Hickory Tree Road in Osceola County. She wears the same clothing from her disappearance, which was the green jacket, the shorts, and I think the shoes. I don't remember. I think we talked about that on the first one. The medical examiner rules homicide. Cause of death is strangulation. Stephen Stearns strangled her to death. He fractured her hyoid bone. The evening, the community holds a vigil where they found Maddie's body. March 2nd, which is literally the next day, that Saturday, he waives his first court appearance. Now, you're going to hear throughout that year in 2024, Stephen Stearns was waiving his court appearance left and right, because he didn't want to be shown. Well, this year, Stephen Stearns ended up going to court, and you actually see Stephen Stearns for the first time. And we are going to see that when we talk about Stephen Stearns. March 6th, Florida Department of Law Enforcement investigates a social media post mistake. Documents reveal Stearns may have investigates a social media posting mistake. Documents reveal Stearns may have abused Maddie since she was 11, supported by, of course, the stuff they found on his device. So that day was when the sheriff, who is now fired, we talked about him, I think. What live did we do? I know we talked about him. If not, we can talk about it again. But there was a sheriff who accidentally posted a picture of Maddie's deceased body on Instagram, and it went viral, and people were posting it on Reddit, Twitter. To this day, you can still find those pictures on Reddit and Twitter. And no, I'm not going to show those pictures out of respect for Maddie. They never fired him. But now this year in 2025, they did fire him because something to do with gambling. It had nothing to do with Madeline Soto. I think they should have fired him then when he did that with Maddie. So Maddie was 13. So from what documents revealed, he may have abused Maddie since he was 11. But of course, since Stephen Stearns resetted his phone, we don't know if it could have been more prior to that. A lot of allegations allegations and speculations think that he abused Maddie since she was 8 years old, because when Stephen Stearns got with Jennifer Soto, Maddie was only 8 years old. So there is speculations that maybe the abuse started when she was 8. We are not sure. Like I said, he factory reset it. PD only got what they could, and from what they saw is what she was 11. But a lot of people are speculating maybe 8 when it started. I did see her little area. Yeah. Slay Sheriff. Yeah, I know. It is sad. And then on March 12th, over 60 additional charges lodged against Stearns, including lewd acts, actual battery of a minor under 12, and possession of corn. I think on one of them, he even had bestiality. If you don't know what bestiality is, try not to Google it without the FBI coming and knocking on your door. But it has something to do with animals, from what I'm understanding, bestiality. I do have all his charges. We can look at it in a little bit so you can see. April 24th of 2024, Stearns formally indicted on first-degree murder, and prosecutors announced intent to pursue the death penalty. 2024 of June, pretrial development. Stearns pleads not guilty, and his defense files motion to suppress phone and Google data, arguing improper seizures and legal terms concurrently despite media access to trial records. And then, of course, this is literally this year in February, a 1-year memorial coverage note. Stearns remained jailed and pending 2 trials, the actual abuse and the murder, with ongoing motions, including closures of hearing. I think they're still trying to give Stephen the death penalty, or they did. That is in my notes under Stephen Stearns. So we're going to see that. We did cover this on part 1, where we looked at Maddie's items in her bag. Obviously, he tried to paint it or put concrete on it so people wouldn't tell. And there's her jacket. We saw this on part 1. And then, of course, we saw Maddie's little makeshift room that was literally in the living room. And then I think we also saw the underwear. Stephen Stearns' drawers, his dirty drawers in her. Yeah, right here. You see his dirty drawers in her hamper. I don't get how she had a makeshift room. And then, of course, we saw the crime scene. We talked about this timeline. We saw this one the other day. We talked about this one. We talked about what they found in her room. Let's see what you guys are seeing. Gross, yes. Sure does. Being over-friendly with animals, yeah. Jennifer used to babysit dogs. She used to be like a dog sitter. So a lot of allegations think that maybe those dogs were involved. 2 trials, yeah. He's having one for her murder, and then he's having one for the, I think they said the things they found on his phone. Dawn Marie! Hello! Yes, the jocks and the dirty clothes basket. Yeah. Stephen Stearns is nasty. He was a complete slop pig the way he treated that baby girl. Yeah, he is. I think I think they even said too that Stephen Stearns did some crazy stuff in his teenage years. I did dig deep into him. So when we talk about Stephen Stearns, I think it's in there somewhere that I put. I just know I found a lot of information on Stephen Stearns. I even found like his guardianship, like his parents were fighting over him. Who in the fuck would want to fight over him? I wouldn't. We are going to talk more deep in Stephen Stearns, but tonight we're going to talk about Jennifer Soto. And Jennifer Soto is not liked by anybody. And I mean anybody. Nobody likes Jennifer Soto. She is what people say. She's the deadbeat mother of the year. We saw this one the other day. Apparently this is from the crime scene where he dumped the tire. That's his spare tire. And then I think he had like a storage unit where he had stuff in there, from what I'm understanding, when we were going over it in part 2. Now, this is the investigation timeline. So I think this is where you're going to see Jennifer Soto's inconsistencies, in my opinion. Keep in mind, when we did part 1, how Jennifer Soto was acting when she was talking to the news station. She was very calm and chill, like she was out of it. In my opinion, I think allegedly she was on drugs, because you don't act that calm when your child is missing. You really don't. I think a concerned mother is like Riley Strain. If you don't know who Riley Strain is, we can talk about Riley Strain. But a concerned mother is like Riley Strain's mom. How Riley Strain's mom was like very like crying and distraught. Jennifer Soto gave me a vibe like she was too calm, like she was on something. I've always stuck to that. And I always will stick to that. Oh, you're learning? Yes, this case gets kind of wild. Yeah, I have all the papers. Nope, I'd be escorting my son straight to the cop. Yeah. And the thing is, I don't think Stephen Stern's parents really cared. I mean, from what they said was, you know, they kind of almost blamed it on Maddie. They were like, oh, Maddie did it. How is a 13-year-old little girl going to throw herself on a grown-ass man? Ain't no way some little girl is going to throw herself on a grown-ass man. Your grown-ass son throw himself on a little girl. That's predator vibes. Exactly. No, I've seen bits of interviews of Jennifer. I have I think it's the 2-hour interrogation. We'll see tonight. Not all of it. I don't want to get copyright, but just the important pieces. Didn't have emotion either. Yeah, she didn't have emotion. So this is the investigation timeline. So on February 26, 8 p.m., Madeline Soto, a 13-year-old, was originally missing to the Orange County Sheriff's Office by her mother, Jennifer Soto. Jennifer stated on February 26 at approximately 8 a.m. Now, please pay attention to this, because Jennifer's story goes all over the place. So at 8 a.m., Jennifer states that she saw Maddie getting ready for school. Jennifer stated Stephen Stearns took her to school and dropped her off close to the school. Jennifer said Stephen dropped Maddie off on Town Loop Boulevard between Town Center Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane. Jennifer said Stephen dropped her off between 8:30 and 8:45. Jennifer stated Maddie never made it to school. Jennifer went to Hunters Creek Middle School around 4 to pick up Maddie, and she never came out of the school. Jennifer stated she searched around the area and then went to her mother's office but couldn't locate her. Pay attention to that, because later on there's inconsistencies here. If Maddie was already deceased, how in the heck did Jennifer Soto said she saw her get ready for school? That's what I want to know. How did you see your daughter get ready for school while your boyfriend strangled her to death? That is the million-dollar question everybody wants to know. 11:15 p.m., Jennifer Soto and Stephen Stearns both provided detectives the following information. On the morning of February 27th, Stephen took Maddie to school in a silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ. You took her to school on the 27th? I thought you took her to school on the 26th. Stephen dropped Maddie off a block away from school due to her not wanting to see it in the old Lincoln. He claims he dropped her off in front of the church, or in the church parking lot, which is, I think, across the street or not that far from the school. They stated that Maddie forgot her phone at home and that Maddie has ADHD, is usually unforgetful. ADHD isn't ADHD when you're very, like, your brain goes from one topic to another? Because if that is, I have ADHD too. But you're a teenage girl, you're not going to forget your phone. At that age, 13, you're not going to forget your phone. You are not. They stated that Madeline did not take any personal items or leave any notes hinting to her running away. They stated they did not have any recent arguments. Jennifer and detectives looked through Maddie's cell phone, including her recently deleted messages, which did not contain anything suspicious or hinting to her running to run away. There was a text message Maddie sent to a friend stating that when she turned 18 years old, she wants to live in the woods. That ended up being false. We ended up seeing the video. When she turned 13, she said she wanted to live in the woods. But speculation said that they think Maddie never sent that. They think it was Stephen Stearns who said that. Just kind of set up like an alibi, thinking that she did run away. While looking into each family member's vehicles outside, detectives observed a handgun in the rear back pocket of the driver's seat in the Lincoln MKZ, which Stearns stated he usually leaves it in the vehicle. Stephen also told detectives not to pay attention to the donut tire on his vehicle due to him recently catching a flat tire earlier that day. So that day, when did he say this? 11:15 p.m. So that same night, earlier that day, Stephen Stearns caught a flat when he was dumping Maddie's body. 11:16, law enforcement secured the scene. Law enforcement secured the scene. No one inside of the, oh my god, that's a big word, aforementioned, there we go, address unless they were escorted by law enforcement. That was a big word for me. February 27, 2024, 11:16 a.m., Detective Hunt made contact with Jennifer at her residence. Jennifer stated the following during her statement. Remember, you gotta pay attention to Jennifer's inconsistencies. Jennifer stated she saw Maddie at approximately 8 p.m. of 2/25/24, so the day before, that Sunday, the day of her birthday party. Jennifer stated Maddie went to the guest room to sleep along with Stefan because she just started a new job and needed to get some sleep, which she had not gotten recently. Jennifer stated Madeline typically sleeps with her, and when Stefan comes into town, he would sleep in the guest room. That right there is a red flag for me. That right there is the biggest red flag for me. How are you going to send your 13-year-old daughter with a man who is not even her biological father to sleep in a guest room? Where was Maddie sleeping originally? You gave Maddie that makeshift little room. Why would you give your daughter a makeshift room and give your boyfriend, who's not even your husband, who ain't even your baby daddy, you gave him a whole room, but you can't give your own daughter her own room? That is the biggest red flag for me, is how you said, Jennifer, you made Maddie go sleep in the guest room with Stefan because you weren't getting enough sleep because you just started a new job. I feel like a normal mother wouldn't give two shits about sleep. Like, they would still go sleep with their daughter. They wouldn't let some random man, mind you, Stefan is nothing to Maddie. He is just the boyfriend. That's it. He's not even the biological father. You're not even married to him. Like, that right there is really red flag one, Miss Jennifer Soto. Like, good points. Yeah. Good job. Thank you. Yes. She slept with Stefan? Yeah. No. So Jennifer said usually sometimes all three of them would sleep together in one room. It would be Maddie, then Jennifer in the middle, then Stefan. But even at that, you would tell your boyfriend, hey, go sleep in the guest room. Me and my daughter are going to sleep in the room together. You know what I'm saying? Why would you be okay with your boyfriend, who ain't even your baby daddy or anything, to your child, sleep with him? Like, that right there is red flag. That right there is just Jennifer Soto going, here you go, Stefan. Here's my daughter on a silver platter. That's basically what this is. So when he comes into town, he would sleep in the guest room. Orange County Sheriff's Office received information that Maddie did not report to school on the previous day. Yeah, she never made it to school. Well, he dumped her body. She never went to school. 12:05 p.m., police interviewed Stephen Stearns, who also provided consent to search his phone. However, he had accidentally performed a factory reset on 2/26. So this was the 27th, so the day prior, when Maddie went missing, later that night, I'm assuming after they did that interview with Jennifer, he had factory resetted his phone because he didn't want the cops to see all those things he had on his phone. But Stefan, cops are way smarter than you. 7:16 second interview, detectives asked Stefan a second time if he consented to the download of his phone. He agreed and provided his passcode. Detectives reviewed video via Tanian Bay and observed Stefan's vehicle exiting the complex with the female wearing a green sweater in the front passenger seat. The female was slumped over to her left, which is abnormal way for a person to be seated in the vehicle. We all know it was Maddie. She was already deceased. Decision was made by Kissimmee Police PD, secured the location for the search warrant to be executed next day on February 28th. Detectives began looking into license plate readers through Orange County and Osceola County. It was discovered that Stefan's vehicle traveled to St. Cloud the morning he supposedly dropped off Maddie. DOT cameras followed Stefan from Kissimmee to St. Cloud, where he turned south into Hickory Tree Road. Approximately 45 minutes later, Stefan's vehicle was traveling back through the intersection, now having a spare tire on the vehicle. Detective Morris then traveled to St. Cloud to locate more video surveillance in an attempt to see where Stefan traveled after turning into Hickory Tree Road, but we were unable to locate any other than Hickory Tree Elementary School. A subpoena was submitted for the video. 10:09, Orange County Actual Assault Unit drafted a DNA warrant along with an arrest warrant for Stefan Michael Stearns. 11:32 p.m., detectives interviewed Jennifer. 12:05 p.m., detectives interviewed Stefan. During these interviews, detectives noticed some inconsistencies between Stefan. And then February 28th of 2024, Osceola County issued an arrest warrant. Stefan was transported by an Orange County deputy to the Osceola County jail, where he was being held with no bond. Search warrant was executed on Stefan's cellular phone. Upon reviewing the contents of Stefan's phone, it was discovered several images were saved in a Google Drive. You see what I mean, Stefan? Like, they will find anything. Literally anything. Nope. Okay, I live with my 3 kids and my boyfriend. My boyfriend isn't their dad. We live in a 3-bedroom home. My kids have the bedroom, and my boyfriend and I have a area in the lounge room. Way smarter unless they're in canon, and your name is Karen Reed. I mean, well, you see, you have a 3-bedroom, so, but you're not Jennifer Soto, though. You see what I mean? Like, Jennifer Soto is something else. You're not. My kids have the bedrooms, and my boyfriend, you see, like, you would give your kids their own room, and you as the parent would sacrifice you and your husband or your boyfriend somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Jennifer Soto didn't do that. Jennifer Soto said, you know what? Here's Stefan. Here's my damn daughter. A separate search warrant was served to Google, and upon their receipt of the contents of Stefan's Google Drive, several images and videos were located which depicted an apparent child with her top part, bottom part, and back bottom opening as a focal point of the pictures and videos. There were also essay pictures and videos. 4 p.m. Stefan Stearns interviewed. Stefan was arrested for extra battery. Then the victim was under 12 years old in possession of child porn. A search warrant was obtained to collect DNA from Stefan. This warrant was executed by the Orange County detectives and forensic units. So basically, the cops served Google a warrant because they wanted to see what was on his Google Drive. It ended up being that Stefan had many videos and pictures of Maddie very undressed, in videos and pictures of her doing things, which was disgusting. 4:45 p.m. Jennifer was interviewed in a conference room by the sheriff's office. Jennifer was asked questions about Maddie being missing and the dynamics of the household. Jennifer stated her and Stefan had been dating on and off for approximately 7 years. So for 7 years, they were dating on and off. This is where the speculation of people thinking that when they first started dating, this is when the actual abuse happened. between that happened to Maddie. Like I said, it's all alleged. I think from what they're saying, she was 13 when she was it 13 or 12? 13. And you go back 7 years, that's I can't do math in my head. Hold on. Minus 7. 6? God dang, 6. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, they needed the space. Sicko, 7 years of the grooming at least. Yeah, 6. Yeah, 6. So if they've been dating for 7 years, she would have been 6 when he first started dating Jennifer. And it could have been allegedly when it started. I mean, some people said 8, but if they've been dating for 7 years, maybe she was 6, allegedly. We don't know that part. Only PD got from when she was 11 years old, because remember, he deleted everything, and they only recovered certain things. So the only person who would know would be Maddie, and sadly Maddie's not here, and Stefan, but we all know Stefan is not going to talk. Stefan had moved out of the home in the later part of 2023, November, December. Jennifer stated while they were together, they would either all sleep in the same bed, or Maddie would sleep with her when Stefan was not there. When asked if it was normal that Stefan and Maddie sleep together without Jennifer being there, she said yes. Excuse me. So, Jennifer stated when they were all together, they would sleep in one bed. When Stefan was not there, it would just be Maddie and Jennifer. But according to Jennifer, it was normal for Stefan and Maddie to sleep together without Jennifer. How is that normal? Like I said, Stefan Stearns is nothing to Madeline Soto. He is not the father. He's nothing to her. Nothing. Why would you let your boyfriend sleep with your own daughter? I mean, Jennifer stated if she needed a good night's sleep due to her anxiety, she would ask them to sleep in a different room. I have anxiety. Anxiety makes you not want to be by yourself. So Jennifer stated she needed a good night's sleep due to her anxiety. So Jennifer, do you have anxiety? I mean, if you have anxiety, you wouldn't want to be by yourself because you start panicking, right? What the Oh my God. Exactly, yeah. That's not normal. Awful. Yeah, it's not normal. Like, are you kidding me? Oh my God. She would ask them to sleep in a different bedroom. Orange County detectives have previously shown Jennifer's photographs of Stefan's downstairs area for identification purposes. Jennifer did not want to believe Stefan were engaging in actual activity. So basically, PD was like, well, here's your man's, what? Is this your man's, his junk in the trunk? And she was like, I don't know what Jennifer said, but Jennifer didn't want to believe that Stefan was, graping her daughter. But homegirl, you let your 13-year-old daughter go sleep with him. Like, this could have been prevented a long time ago. Like, what the flick, bro? Like, oh my God. PD is a savage. PD said, you know what? Is this your man's junk? And they showed her a picture of his junk. PD was savage for that. The Orange County Sheriff's Forensic Unit responded and assisted in searching through the trash from the dumpster. Crime scene investigators located a tire in the trash, and near the tire was a plastic bag that looked similar to the one Stefan had seen on camera thrown away. Inside the bag was a black backpack with a Hawaii print. Inside the backpack was Orange County. So basically, the trash bag they found was Madeline's backpack and laptop and her Crocs. One Croc. Because one Croc was in the trash, the other Croc was in her room, her little makeshift room that she had. Should immediately. Huh? The heck? Sorry, I got a notification. I don't know. Someone's going live and they're talking about the Israel and Iran war. I've seen little bits and pieces of that one. By the sound, she let it happen. Yeah, she let it happen. She was like, you know what, here you go. February 29th at 2:45 p.m., forensic unit began processing an apartment. At 5:09, detectives contacted Jennifer and advised Jennifer that crime scene technicians were to collect additional items that were seen in Stefan's photograph. Jennifer confirmed on the morning of February 26th she was awoken by Stefan trying to put the leash on their dog. Jennifer got up and Stefan told her not to worry about it, go back to sleep. Jennifer says she doesn't remember Stefan coming back to tell her goodbye or saying goodbye to Maddie. Boom, there's one inconsistencies right there. If you go back, Jennifer, the fuck is Jennifer? There she is. Jennifer stated that on 2/26 at 8 a.m., she says she saw Maddie getting ready for school. Right? Right? Now, if you go back here, where the heck did it? I just saw it. There it is. Okay, Jennifer confirmed on the morning of 2/26 she was awoken by Stefan trying to put the leash on their dog. Jennifer got up and Stefan told her not to worry about it and to go back to sleep. Jennifer says she doesn't remember Stefan coming back to tell her goodbye or saying goodbye to Maddie. So Jennifer said, Jennifer said she saw Maddie getting ready. Now she's saying she didn't see Maddie. She never said goodbye to Maddie. That's one inconsistency. I asked her about writing a statement to Orange County deputies about seeing Maddie the morning of February 26th. Jennifer stated she wanted to believe she saw Maddie, but she actually did not see her. There it is. So the first interview, Jennifer said that she saw Maddie get ready for school. Now Jennifer's saying, oh, I never saw Maddie. I don't think I saw Maddie. So which is it? Did you or did you not see her? This is where Jennifer's inconsistencies start coming in. Jennifer said Madeline picked out clothes to wear on the evening of so basically Jennifer said Maddie picked out clothes the night before, which was that Sunday the 25th. I asked Jennifer to explain her and Stefan's, bedroom life, which she described as vanilla. Stefan would want to have, backstairs activities with Jennifer, but she said she didn't want to. We later spoke about the medication Maddie was taking. Jennifer stated Maddie was taking 20 mgs of Adderall and 25 mgs of hydroxyzine. Yes, but she's seen her get ready, right? Oh, yes, the whole made-up memories. Yeah, so Jennifer said the first time, she said she saw her getting ready. When this time came around, when she was talking to the other detective, she said, I think I saw her. I don't even remember Maddie saying goodbye to Maddie. So my issue is, did you or did you not see her, Jennifer? And now they're talking about, their bedroom life, and Jennifer says it's all vanilla. I mean, Stefan Stearns, if you and Jennifer's, bedroom life is vanilla, why are you going for her 13-year-old daughter? You freaking pedophile. I think in an interview, if it's on this one we're going to see tonight, if I remember, Jennifer said that Stefan Stearns would want Jennifer to act like she was, deceased while he was, while they were in the bedroom having activities. It was weird. It's kind of weird. I think it's in this interview, in her interrogation. But right there, that's a red flag. If a man who's having, intercourse with you wants you to act deceased or dead, that's red flag one, homegirl. Like, this man is not okay in the head. Maddie was taking Adderall and hydroxyzine. 7:33 p.m. Detectives interviewed Angelica. Is it Negro? I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry. Who's one of Jennifer's roommates? She stated she arrived at approximately 10:30 p.m. that Sunday. Angelica stated she did not see either one of them, and she said when Jennifer takes her sleeping medication, she falls into deep sleep. Well, goddamn, Jen. What sleeping medication is Jennifer taking? So at 8:30, the apartment process was complete. 7:30 p.m. Extradition felony warrant issued for Stephen Michael Stearns. March 1st, 11:57, detectives contacted Jennifer at her residence for a follow-up interview. Jennifer was advised that they would be taking her to Orange County Sheriff's Office to retrieve her vehicle. Jennifer became silent for a few moments and then started to cry. Jennifer says she had been avoiding the internet because of things being said or leaked to the media, and it was traumatizing for her. I'm not even going to comment on that. I asked Jennifer where all she was physically looked for Maddie since she had gone missing. Jennifer says she had not looked anywhere for Madeline because she wanted to be home in case she came back home. That I understand. But, two, I feel like any mom would go out and look for their kid, but then I also understand they would want to be home in case, they did return. You know what I'm saying? So that I kind of, okay. Jennifer says she has since been staying at her sister's house because she didn't want to be seen in public. So, okay. I asked Jennifer if Madeline had any siblings. She says she was married to Stephen Young. He had a daughter that was raised along with Maddie. That would be the only person who would be considered a sibling. So yeah, so Jennifer was married. So Jennifer had Maddie with her father, Tyler. Tyler lives in Texas with his new wife, Tatiana. I'm going to get the questions of where was Tyler, which is Maddie's biological father. We will talk about Tyler when we talk about how the family reacted. Tyler said it himself. If Maddie would have came out and said that this was happening to her, that Tyler would have took immediate action and he would have took Maddie away from Jennifer. But he said Maddie never showed any signs. Maddie never talked about it. Maddie never even said anything to him or Tatiana. But he thinks the reason she didn't say anything was because of fear. She thought, Stefan was going to do something to her or to Tyler or to Tatiana. But to this day, Tyler and Tatiana, they still go out and they visit Maddie's memorial site. They are fighting for justice for Maddie. Jennifer, to this day, 2025, ain't no one know where Jennifer Soto is. If you can find Jennifer Soto, it's like finding Bigfoot at this point. I feel like Tyler is the only parent who's trying to get justice for his baby girl while the other dorkhead isn't even doing anything. Nobody knows where she is. But fast forward to then, it didn't work out between Jennifer and Tyler, so she married a man named Stephen Young. They ended up getting a divorce. I think you can find their divorce records online. Jennifer said Stephen had been around Stephen and his daughter, Ashlyn, a few times. Jennifer said Stephen lived in Williamsburg, which is by SeaWorld. I asked Jennifer if her or Stephen was in contact with Stephen. She said yes, by text messages and phone calls. I asked Jennifer if I could see those messages. She handed me her phone and said yes. I asked Jennifer how Stephen found out about Madeline, and she said she told him. Stephen was in shock when he heard the news. So essentially, Stephen was the man she was with before she got with, the doofus looking gnome guy, Stefan. Oh, yes, Tomato Memories, Vanilla. Why is he sharing a bedroom with your daughter? Exactly. He's a necrophiliac, sleepy meds. Oh, poor dear. Red flags. Yeah, I'd be on the front lawn shot. Yeah, you see what I mean? I never heard about the bio dad. The mother knows. 100%. Jennifer has to know something. Yeah, so the biological dad, nobody really knew about him, but he lives in Texas. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's Houston. I think he lives in Houston or Dallas. I know he lives in Texas with his now wife Tatiana. They came on in interviews and he cried. Like Tyler literally cried on the news saying that if he would have found out, he would have took Maddie away from Jennifer and all this pain and everything, how Maddie never deserved it. And he felt bad. He even said, it's his fault. But, Maddie never really said anything to him. We don't know if Maddie said anything to her friends. That's what we're going to find out next week. So Stephen and Stefan, yeah, so she married a man named Stephen Young, divorced him, then she got with a guy named, then she got with Stefan. 4 p.m. crime analysis. Donna Sitta from the Osceola County Sheriff's contacted witness Thomas Karras. Thomas told Donna he was the person matching the description of Stefan with a tire iron in his hand, standing next to a silver sedan on Hickory Tree Road. Thomas believed it was February 26 at approximately 1:20. Thomas provided pictures of the locations where he saw the person and pointing out the location on the map to Donna. So Thomas is the one who saw Stefan Stearns on the side of the road fixing his flat tire. Mind you, before Stefan got the flat tire, a few miles back, he dumped Maddie's body. Then he left, went up, got a flat tire. Somebody saw him, took a picture. Once they said, oh, we're looking for this Lincoln, Thomas came out and said, hey, I've seen this Lincoln and this man driving it around this area. Once they went to the area, that's when they found Maddie's body. And then, of course, the person who said that owned the place said they had video footage or camera footage, if I'm not mistaken, from the first live we talked about that part. Captain Lori Mingone and Sheriff Shay Rice Sean responded to the area that Thomas identified. Sergeant Schwann knew the property owner who provided access, to the locked gate to the property. Captain Mingone walked towards a row of bamboo trees to the left and opened the gate. Captain Mingone located a small body wearing the blue jeans and a gray sweater. The body had dried grass and hay on top of the body. So basically, Stefan tried to hide Maddie's body with grass. March 2nd was the autopsy. So at 10 a.m., the autopsy was performed by Dr. Stephen Gills. What the hell is up with all these Stephens and Stevens? Prior to the autopsy, once they examined Maddie's body, it was initially uncovered. They noticed her socks were clean on the bottom. Dr. Gills expressed concerns over her hyoid bone in Maddie's neck. Dr. Gills stated the right portion of the bone was not intact, which could possibly be related to her being strangled. Dr. Gills listed the initial outcome of the autopsy as pending. So her socks were clean, so obviously Stefan it's not even allegedly, obviously Stefan carried her from the house where he strangled her to death to the car. Then he put her from the car to the trunk, then the trunk to where she was. That's why her socks were clean. Stefan carried her. So he ended up breaking off, I'm assuming, or unlodging her hyoid bone because he strangled her. Now, my question is, what ticked off Stefan Stearns to do such a horrible act to her? Did Maddie say, you know what, Stefan, I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to tell my dad. I'm going to tell the world what you're doing to me. And Stefan got mad and was like, nope, and strangled her. There was speculations of people thinking that maybe Maddie allegedly was pregnant. And she said, you know what, I'm going to tell the world what you did to me. I'm pregnant, whatever. And he strangled her. From the autopsy and everything, allegedly people say she was not pregnant. Until I get the full autopsy report, which we won't really get because she's a minor, I would like to know, was Madeline Soto pregnant or not? I don't, allegedly, in my opinion, I don't think she was. Some people to this day still think that she might have been. That's why he killed her. Could it have been that, Maddie was 13. Maddie's a teenager. Could it have been Maddie was falling for a kid in her school and Stefan didn't like that? Stefan was like, no, I'm the only man in your life, and killed her? Could it have been that? I mean, there couldn't have been many, many reasons why he snapped and killed her that day. If you're going to go to the trouble of covering up a body, do more than that. Yeah, he just threw dry grass. She was not pretending she was dead enough. She likes the Steves, yeah. She does like them Steves. It might come out on the trial. Yeah, it might come out on the trial. It might. But I think the only ones who have the full autopsy would be the parents, so to be Tyler and Jennifer, and we know they're not going to share it. But obviously it'll come out in trial if they share the trial with the public. And if they do, I do want to show it. I do want to stream it. Okay. How much more do I have of this timeline? God dang. Look at all this timeline. I think I have more to this timeline, right? Damn, I do. Oh no, we talked about this one. Okay, we're gonna read some of the important stuff because there's one important thing I want to read from the other timeline. It involves the coins. So March 5th, this was a few days after they found Maddie. Stephen Young identified as Jennifer's ex-husband prior to Stefan. Stefan and Jennifer were never married. Stephen and Jennifer were married. Stephen stated he married Jennifer in 2015 and divorced her in either 2016. Stephen stated he met Jennifer through a dating website. Stephen stated he lived in Vanilla Bay, which, while they were married, in the same location as Jennifer is living now. When they were living together, it was Stephen, Jennifer, Juan, which is Jennifer's father, Madeline, Stephen's daughter, Ashlyn Young. Stephen stated Juan stayed in the bedrooms downstairs, and he and Jennifer stayed in a room upstairs, and both Maddie and Ashlyn had their own room upstairs as well. Stephen stated their relationship was good in the beginning, but later in the relationship, Jennifer began having mental health issues. There's red flag number 2. She had mental health issues. I mean, your mental health is important, and it's always good to seek mental health resources. Could it have been, I don't know, maybe Jennifer was going through a mental health crisis, and when you go through mental health issues, a lot of things happen. Could it have been, I'm trying to word it, like, could it have been, Jennifer, with everything that was going on with her mental health, you would think maybe she offered Madeline to Stefan, like, like, I don't know how to say it, like, it's in my mind, but I can't word it, like, I don't know how to word it. After this live, I'm gonna think of it, and then I'm gonna be like, damn, there it is. You mentioned earlier, she says he liked Jen to be sleeping to have sex, right? Maybe that's his kink. Strangled too close. Anti-conscious, took it too far. It could have been, yeah. Yeah, there you go. I was like, what's that word? Yeah. I mean, Stefan is weird. Stefan's a weird looking fool. Stephen said there were times that he would have to take care of the household when Jennifer was having a bad time with her mental health. You see what I mean? So let's say, Jennifer Soto was having a mental health episode, and, this was, to put into perspective, let's say Jennifer Soto didn't know this was going on. We're going to see two sides. Jennifer knew and Jennifer didn't know. Let's say Jennifer Soto didn't know about what was going on, and she was having a mental health issue. And while this mental health issue was happening, Stefan took advantage and said, you know what, I'm going to do all these things to Maddie because Jennifer is not reliable. Jennifer, she's going through mental health. She can't give me the, I don't even want to say it, like the needs he needs. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm trying to word it. Like Stefan took advantage of Maddie like that too, because Jennifer was going through mental health issues and crisis. That's how I'm trying to word it. There you go. That's how I was trying to word it. My brain was scrabbled. Stephen decided to remove Ashlyn from the atmosphere, which was then decided to get the divorce. Stephen stated he considered Maddie as his daughter due to the amount of times they were spent together. Ashlyn and Madeline would play games once a month for a few years. Stephen would join the game just to talk with Maddie. Stephen would move to Colorado in 2022. So Stephen, from what I'm hearing, Stephen looks like he was a good guy to Maddie, you know, even though he was the stepfather because he did marry Jennifer. He cared about Maddie. He gave Maddie his own room, he even let freaking Jennifer's father live there, He took care of everything in the house while Jennifer was having, mental health issues. He looks like a good man. You know what I'm saying? March 14th of 2024, Corporal Edward, I'm not even going to say the last name, authorities search warrant to obtain fingerprints of Stefan. The warrant was signed March 15, 9/14. Detective Acevedo responded to the Osceola County Jail to execute the search warrant for Stefan's fingerprints. Crime scene technology Alex Figueroa and supervisor Isabella Johnson also responded to collecting the fingerprints. Stefan provided a copy. He was provided a copy of his fingerprints. That could have happened. Both groomed Jen and Maddie. Yeah. So at March 20th, 2024, at 1:56, Detective Smallwood responded to 4030 Packard Avenue, St. Cloud, Florida, where he contacted Walter. I'm not even going to say that. Roska. Walter had previously called in a tip regarding possible seeing Stefan changing his tire. Walter stated the following under oath. Walter stated he saw the media release about attempting to identify Stefan in his vehicle, where he may have changed his tire. Walter said he noticed a person resembling Stefan in the vehicle mentioned on the side of the road of Hickory Tree Road and Old Hickory Tree, or South Hickory Tree Road and Old Hickory Tree Road. Walter didn't think anything about it and continued driving. Walter mentioned he had seen his vehicle at approximately 12 o'clock on February 26th. It is unknown if Walter wasn't sure about his time frame due to the fact that Stefan was not in the area at 12, based upon security footage and cell phone data. So there was two people that saw him? It was Walter and the other guy? So March 28th, Judge... God, why do they have weird last names? Bigney signed a search warrant for Maddie's medical records. So Maddie was diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety disorder. These records were submitted to evidence. The judge also signed a search warrant for the Fitbit device Stefan was wearing during the time he was with Maddie. So they have records of his Fitbit, and they also have records of Maddie's medical records. So she does have ADHD and anxiety disorder. But for anxiety, I thought they would give you, I don't know, is there many medications for anxiety? Because the one I have is not on there. I think Jennifer says she takes Adderall and hydroxyzine, but I don't take hydroxyzine. I take another type of medication for my anxiety. Stefan wasn't careful at all, and yes, these are some interesting names. Yeah, it's hard for me to say their names. So April 10th of 2024, Stefan calls Chris Stearns, who is his father. So 12 minutes and 57 seconds into the call, Stefan tells Chris, you know what? You know that I would never have wanted that for her, meaning Maddie. Stefan then says, I'm not really sure that any one person is specifically responsible. It's probably a combination of factors that led to it. I have never felt anything like that before. It was horrible. Chris tells Stefan that he hopes the truth will come out. And Stefan responds, well, yeah. And if he was dodging the statement, this call was downloaded and submitted to evidence. So basically, Stefan told his father that, you know, he wouldn't have never wanted that for Maddie. What does that mean? Like, you never wanted Maddie to be murdered? I mean, you murdered her. You know what you were doing. You raped her. You know what you were doing. Then he says, I'm not sure really that any one person is specifically responsible. It's probably a combination of factors that led to it. Like what? What led to you raping a little girl? You have to be a sick, twisted individual to do something like that, Stefan. And he's not sure one person is specifically responsible. So is he stating that Jennifer Soto was involved in this? For example, it could be many factors. Allegedly, let's say Jennifer Soto was involved in this and was, having these nasty things going on with her boyfriend and her daughter, which is disgusting. Could have been that Jennifer Soto knew about this whole time. Could have been Jennifer Soto, said, you know what, Stefan, go ahead and do it. I don't care. Could it have been that? I mean, there's so many things. April 11th, detectives received a message from Chris stating he had an update regarding about this case. I contacted Chris by telephone, who stated he was cleaning out the storage unit he had on Executive Avenue. Chris stated he opened one of the storage bins and located a hard drive that would normally be housed in a desktop computer. It was the same storage bin Chris located a watch that Stefan previously told Chris during a phone call from jail was in his bedroom. Chris stated Stefan must have gained access to the storage unit when he made the trip to Northport on February 28th. I told Chris that I would have a detective from Northport Police Department contact him to arrange a time to retrieve the hard drive. Chris previously stated he witnessed Stefan using his desktop computer on February 24th. He never gained access to the residence after leaving to Kissimmee February 25th. It appears that Stefan had intentionally removed the hard drive from his computer in an attempt to conceal the contents. So could it have been maybe there's more stuff on there? More horrible things he had between him and Maddie on there? A few, I think. I don't take anything except weed, Paracet, ibuprofen. Exactly, he knew what he was doing. Maybe. I mean, maybe he had it on there. April 12th, detectives drove to Northport Police Department to retrieve the items that Chris provided to detectives. There was a hard drive that appeared to be removed from the desktop or tower computer and two other USB drives. April 15th, they signed a search warrant to search those hard drives. April 17th, they did another search warrant to obtain the iCloud records from Apple for Jennifer and Maddie. They submitted the search warrant to Apple via email. So April 18th, 8:30 a.m., Jennifer and her attorney, Matthew Bark, arrived at the Kissimmee PD based upon the investigative subpoena that was issued by the state attorney due to technical issues with state attorney. Somebody's computer was having, okay, why do I need to know about this guy's computer? Attorney Will, get your computer fixed. He said you had technical issues. Hang on, guys. My dog is about to... Sorry, my dog was going to bark a storm up. Okay, so they placed Jennifer under oath. She swore to tell the truth. Will asked Jennifer if she was working on the night of February 25th, which was the day of Maddie's party, at Disney, and she stated yes, and she got home at approximately 22:30 hours. Jennifer stated when she got home, Stefan and Maddie were the only people downstairs. Jennifer could not remember what either Stefan or Maddie were wearing when she got home from work. Will asked Jennifer if she remembered if Maddie was wearing a green sweatshirt when she got home from work, and she stated no, she was not wearing that. Wait, what? So, first you say you couldn't remember what they were wearing. Now they ask you, was the green sweatshirt involved? And now you're saying no. She was not wearing that. Jennifer stated Madeline would have been wearing whatever clothes she would be sleeping in. Jennifer could not remember what time Stefan got to the residence. Huh? What do you mean? Jennifer could not remember what time Stefan got to the residence? What do you mean? You just said you saw them downstairs. Oh, you don't know what time they got home. Oh, okay, before you. Okay, I guess I'm tripping. Jennifer stated she was in the bedroom with Stefan and Maddie approximately 30 minutes before she sent them upstairs to go to bed. What? So Jennifer was in her bedroom with Maddie and Stefan, and then 30 minutes later, she sent them upstairs to bed. Will asked Jennifer why Stefan wasn't invited to the party. She stated because her mother didn't get along with Stefan. Well, your mother knew something. That's why she didn't get along with Stefan. Jennifer stated she instructed Maddie to take her nighttime medication when she got home, which Jennifer states she allowed Maddie to do time to time. April 22nd, detectives responded to FDLE and made contact with Agent Torres to retrieve downloads. So, upon reviewing the data from the USB drives, one of the drives was empty and the other drive contained 35,000 of images of child porn. It did not appear that was in any of those images. The hard drive was not used since 2020. It did not contain anything of evidentiary value. So he had one hard drive that had over 35,000 images of child porn. Are you freaking kidding me? Maybe. Get your shit together. Yeah, Will, get your shit together. She knew. Yeah, she knew. 35 images of child porn. I mean, does the FBI not look into your shit? Like, does the FBI not ping when child porn is being looked at? Like, God forbid I look up some type of drug and my phone starts acting weird, and that's how I know, oh, the FBI is looking into me because I'm looking up some type of drug that I need to take for medication. And you don't ping for child porn, especially 35,000 images of child porn. Are you freaking kidding me? FBI, the fuck, man. He had 35 images of child porn. There could have been more. And how did nobody notice that? Like, if he had a computer at home, I mean, he could have signed out. He could have had his own little login. But 35,000? That's red flag number 2. But had nothing to do with Maddie. Yeah, it had nothing to do with Maddie. But 35,000 images of child porn? Oh my God. That's one sick man. April 24th, the case was brought to a grand jury. Stefan was indicted on first-degree premeditated murder. And then April 30th, the judge signed search warrants for Madeline's pediatrician and, God damn it, here comes those big-ass words, gastroenterologist doctor, if I said it right. They wanted her medical records. And then October of 2024, Mitchell Regan, who was a teacher at the Hunter Creek Middle School that Maddie attended, was arrested with possession of child sexual abuse material. What the? And then February 4th, 2025, Madeline Soto's teacher arrested on unrelated crime. Teacher at Hunter Creek Middle School in Orange County, Florida, had been arrested on federal charges for Corcon. I can't say that word. If you can say that word, wonderful, because I can. And enticing of a minor. So basically, a teacher. So Maddie went to Hunter Creek Middle School. I think they just put it in there just so like we know, but it has nothing to do with the case. So Mitchell, he was a teacher at Hunter Creek Middle School. He was arrested because he had possession of child sexual abuse. And then another teacher, well, Maddie's actual school teacher, was arrested for that word I can't say and enticing of a minor. Well, I'll be damned. That's crazy. Okay, we talked about Stephen Stern's timeline the first time around. This is the one I want to read, but only certain parts. They do, but some things get lost and the pedals get clever. Yeah. I've seen a few court sentencing reports, and that number isn't as uncommon as. What do you mean it's not uncommon? Oh my God. Geez, the teacher was arrested. Corrosion. Oh, okay. Thank you for doing it like that, because I had trouble. Jesus. So February 16th of 2024, this is when they were looking through Maddie's phone. So at 47 hours, Maddie sent text messages to Stefan that contained a photo of 2 coins. What those coins were, we don't know. Detailed information about steps in the health. So it starts talking about, you know, on your iPhone, it has like the health app, and it shows you like how many steps you took and like things like that. I think when you wear the Apple Watch too, because mine does that. So they're going to talk about the steps for the iPhone during the time frame between February 25th and February 26th, between 2030 hours and 1600 hours. So on February 25th at 22:09 hours, 9 steps were taken. At 23:19 hours, 31 steps taken and 1 floor climbed, which matched the time when Jennifer sent Maddie and Stefan upstairs to go to sleep. So I think they put this on there because it gives a visual timeline of what happened that night almost. At 7:05 hours, 113 steps were taken. At 7:15 hours, 50 steps were taken. 10:55 hours, 8 steps, which is when Stefan is back at the residence. 14:37, 54 steps, which is when Jennifer would be taking Madeline's phone to her when she left to go pick her up from school. 17:30 hours were the next steps counted. Madeline's phone was plugged into the charge on Sunday the 25th of 23:38 hours. At 7:04 hours, Maddie's phone is unplugged from the charger on February 26th at 7:04. The phone is then powered off at 7:16. The patterns of Maddie's cellular phone is not typical of her normal day, which shows this activity was not physically done by Maddie. So this had to have been done by Stefan or Jennifer. At 10:55 hours is the time Madeline's cell phone is turned back on, which coincides with the 8 steps it moved at the same time. Stefan and Angelica would have been the only people in the house at that time, and per Angelica's statement, she was inside of her room during this time and only seen Stefan while he was doing laundry. Then they went through Jennifer's phone. Remember, they downloaded. So this is from Maddie's phone they did. Next, they're going to do Jennifer's. So Jennifer would set an alarm at 7:30. On days she would bring Maddie to school. There were messages between Jennifer and Stefan. So February 25th, starting at 23:39 hours, that stated the following. So this is all February 25th. The next ones I'm going to read. At 23:39. Jennifer sent Stefan, make sure she goes to bed right now. Stefan replies, okay, sweetie, good night. Jennifer replies, good night. Stefan texts Jennifer, she's built her nest and is settling in now. She's not no fucking bird. What fucking nest is she building? That's a 13-year-old. That's not no fucking bird. She built her nest and is settling in now. That would be weird to me. It's reading that message. I'm blunt. I'd be like, what fucking nest? My child is not a fucking bird. Typically, I wouldn't send my child to sleep with my boyfriend. Jennifer replies, okay, good. Jennifer sets her cellular phone on a wireless charger at 23:54 hours. On February 26, Jennifer set an alarm to go off at 9 o'clock. The alarm was removed from the notifications while still on the wireless charger. At 9:19, Jennifer's cellular phone was physically removed from the wireless charger. This is consistent with her daily activities with removing the alarm notifications or snoozing the alarm. There were several other messages between her and Stefan regarding Maddie sleeping in the same room together. There were also text messages Stefan and Jennifer claiming Stefan gave Madeline an extra dose of her medication when it was not necessary. Oh. So Stefan gave Maddie an extra dose of her medication when it was not necessary. Red flag number 3. Why would you do that? That's another red flag. They talked someone into something. Don't have Apple, but I know what you mean. No, I wouldn't do that either. Yeah. So Stefan basically gave Maddie an extra dose of medication when not needed. Oh. So then this is just stuff they found in the apartment. The laptop. So this is just things they found inside the apartment that they took for evidence. This, you can read, if you want to read this part, you can go to Crime Timelines and look up Maddie. It'll be under Madeline Soto, and you can, if you want to read this little part. I really don't want to read that part because I do want to show you some videos before I have to end it. We'll go on till 11:15, 11:30. And then they took some things from Maddie's room, like clothes, underwear, things like that. I'm pretty sure they took Stefan Stern's dirty ass drawers that were there too in her basket. So if you want to see this is all on Crime Timeline. If you want to read this part. And this is just evidence they took. And then this is all the documentation that I have regarding Stefan Stearns. This will all read. Oh, I do want to read that one. Dun, 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 dun. So this is from Jennifer Soto. Jennifer Lizette Soto, as soon as my computer decides to. So this is from what Jennifer wrote. She wrote this on the 26th. So the same day Maddie went missing. So remember, there's a lot of inconsistencies in Jennifer's statements. First, she said she saw Maddie getting ready. Next, she said she don't remember if she saw Maddie. And then she said she never saw Maddie. So this is from the 26th. This is the original one that she said. So she said, today around 8 a.m., I saw Maddie getting ready for school. I'm not sure what time they departed. Stefan Stearns took her to school and dropped her off close to school on Town Loop Boulevard between Town Center Boulevard and Hunters Creek Park Lane around 8:30 to 8:45. She never made it to school. I went to school around 4 p.m. to pick her up, and she never came out. I searched the area, she went to her mom's office, and her mom has an office near the school. to look for Maddie and could not find her. And then she signed it. This is just other things. So this is what Jennifer originally said. Jennifer originally said that she saw Maddie getting ready. Then she talked to another detective and said, you know what, I never saw Maddie. I never remember saying goodbye to Maddie. Red flag. Well, that was a lot. That was your mom's birthday? Aww. Happy late birthday to your mom. So that's Jen's written statement. So this is a handwritten note that I want to read. God damn, who the fuck wrote this? I can't even read this. Okay, so Sunday night around 2300, slept upstairs with, I'm guessing, Stefan in guest room. Sent upstairs Stefan and her to guest room. Usually, guest room, typically, he sleeps in guest bed. He moves away in December. He visits occasionally for a few days. He was planning to stay for a week. What the hell? Got home Saturday or Sunday this time. Monday morning, heard everyone getting ready around 7 or 8. Who wrote this? Was this Jennifer? Didn't hear her leave specifically, but they typically leave around 8:50. Or this could be PD. Okay, you see how it says right here? Didn't hear her leave specifically, but they typically leave around 8:50. Stefan called her around 1 or 10, said he was fast, got home from running errands. Something, it could be Jennifer and Maddie. Something out around 9:30. Didn't see Stefan at all, or Jennifer didn't see Stefan. It could be Jennifer. Stefan said she didn't want to go to McDonald's. If this is from the detectives, he has some shitty ass writing because I don't know what the hell he's writing. Jennifer, this could be Jen, got back around 11:15 or 11:30. Dust waiters didn't wait until 4:30 in Carline until 1600. Piss? Does that say piss? Or Dis walked to mom's office near school, has dropped her off to school of, what the hell? I can't even read any of this. Sunday was her birthday party. Why do you redact that? Sometimes lies sitting at, redacted. Angela, oh damn, god damn it, do I need to cut that out? Are those working phone numbers? If those are working phone numbers, I'm going to shit my pants. God damn it. God dang it, PD. You couldn't blur that out, but you blurred everything else out. Something talks to dad via text, social media. DX, ADHD, 5'6", you and autism in the past, but recent assessment reveals not DX autism. And I can't even read any of that. She's sad. She said grades are failing, not turning in work. Stefan. How? I can't even read his handwriting. Okay, so I think this is from. Are these working phone numbers? Jesus, fuck, for fuck's sakes. PD, you couldn't blur out the phone numbers. Oh, handwriting is scratchy. Must be a copper. I see piss. Me too. So, grade 10 years. Maddie is quiet, reserved, often sad, has trouble focusing, often not feeling well. Something always goes to nurse. Message Jen through talking point. Noticed she had been more tired. Moved to 6th period science due to issues with students. In 6th period, something Maddie said she forgot to give her, or Jen says she forgot to give her meds that day, but that she was what? Grades all year have been D's or F's. Doesn't do all assignments. She moved 6th period. She something 1 or 2. Common for kids to struggle. So I don't know what the hell I just read with this handwriting, but from what I'm seeing is Maddie, I think this is from her teacher. Maddie's quiet and reserved. She looks sad. She has trouble focusing. She often doesn't feel well and is always at the nurse. Boom, that's red flag number 1. This is where the school should have got involved. If a kid is always going to the nurse, there's something wrong. She's been tired. That should have been the second one. She's tired. There's something going on at home they need to look into. She moved to 6th period because she had issues with the students. Her grades of year have been D's and F. That should be another one. So those are the main red flags. 1, she looks sad. She's always in the nurse's office. She's always tired. Her grades have been failing. She has a hard time focusing. That should be red signs that, okay, hey, there's something wrong with this child. School wasn't going well. I agree. Yeah, the school should have been like, something's going on at home. We need to investigate, or have someone go out and investigate. What's this? It moved. Okay. So these we'll see on Stefan's live. I'm trying to find where they show the room. I want to see Stefan's room. But I also want to be careful. Because if they didn't redact those numbers, is there something on here that I'm going to see that's not redacted that I don't want to see? That's what I don't want. So this will read on Stefan's live. We got a lot of things to look at. Stefan's live. Discord, Google, Instagram. I'm kind of nervous to open these. The Discord, Google, and Instagram. Why do I say I'm scared and then I open it? Like, I just hope the things that are redacted are not in there, and things that are redacted are redacted. Because I don't know how to edit anything out. So let's hope there's nothing on there for me to be like, I don't think so, but so I think I think what this is just this is a search warrant to look up the Google, Discord, and Instagram. The morgue documents. I don't think it's going to show anything of Maddie. It's just one page. That's about it. Jen Soto. Okay, I'm trying to look for just the Jen Soto things. Yeah, I mean, okay. Oh, God. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Vanilla Christ. I'm looking for the Jennifer Soto thing. No. I just had it. Jen Soto. And this is not going to open. Okay, this is the incident report. Jesus, Vanilla Christ. You see how it's not? There it goes. So basically, this is it's the same thing we said, you know. They got a phone call that Madeline was missing. She hadn't been seen since 8 on the February 26th. The caller provided the last known clothing description for Maddie was a green hoodie. Who made the 911 call? Couldn't have been Jennifer Soto. Jennifer says she don't remember what Maddie was wearing. She didn't even see Maddie. It could have been Stefan. Or maybe Jen did call 911 and relied off what Stefan was saying. This is just basically everything we talked about is in this document. I'm trying to find like key points because we've talked about a lot of this already. And I'm blind as a bat, so I have to zoom it in. Did Jennifer Soto, okay. Are those working numbers? God dang it. Those better not be working numbers. Because I don't know how you edit those out. Okay, so this looks like we can read this when we do Stefan's, because this is more Stefan than Jennifer. So this will read on Stefan's live. We got a lot of things to look at for Stefan. Stefan's live is probably going to be like 3 hours because this is a lot we got to read. Let's look into some videos. A little bit of videos regarding Jen. Oh, I finally got Discord to work. Finally. I do want to look at the rooms. Yes, I trust YouTube. Just take me to the damn website. So let's look at a little bit of, this is 2 hours. So if you do want to see this, the whole 2 hours, your homework tonight, this is what I'm going to do. Your homework tonight, or whenever you have time, is to watch the full interrogation of Jennifer Soto. We're only going to watch half just because I'm going to get copyrighted. And that sucks because I got copyrighted like 3 times already. And so if you want, you can find this on my Discord. It's all on there. We're going to watch some of it. Just some key points.
With all kinds of people stuff.
So this is Jen See how calm she is? Like, she's not even, like, crying. She's, like, very chill. She's very, like, meh. She ain't got no emotions. I won't call him. If you call him Janelle, I won't say nothing. Homework. Good thing I like interrogations. Yeah, you can watch this tonight when you have time. She's very calm. Okay, let's speed it up a little bit. She's just chilling.
What is it for?
It's for anxiety and for sleep.
Okay.
Could she take that by herself, or would he have given that to her?
I think she took it by herself. She got home and she had already taken it.
How do you know that?
That's what he told me.
That's what he told you. Okay.
He was there when you got home? You got home, they were already at the apartment? Okay.
I don't like her taking her meds without somebody visually seeing, watching her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong pill. She's comfortable enough to grab the pill bottle, but I'm like, no, I need to watch you take them.
Is there ever been an issue with that in the past, where she took too many or took the wrong thing? Or just like a thought in your mind?
No, just a thought in my mind, just me being hypervigilant. I want to physically watch her take her meds and watch her.
So, just right there's another red flag. Boom. The medications. The PD asked her, did she take her meds? She goes, yes. He goes, how do you know? She goes, well, I believe him. Basically, like, Stefan gave her the meds, and he's like, are you sure? And she makes that face. That's another red flag. Why are you gonna go based off someone's word? And she said it herself, They usually don't let Maddie take her medications by herself. He goes, why? Has she double dosed? Has she missed? And she goes, no, but it's just a thought. That's why, like, Jennifer has to look at her physically, take her Jennifer physically has to give Madeline the medications and see her take it. But yeah, you let Stefan Stearns give it to her and you're believing Stefan? It's Stefan vibes, yeah.
Her grab to take them. I don't ever want there to be an accident of she took too many, or my biggest fear is that she would take Adderall by accident, her daytime meds.
Got it.
I got home around 10:30. I started getting ready for bed myself. I started eating and taking my meds because I have to take meds. When I went to take my meds, I realized, oh my God, I forgot to take my Saturday night's meds, which is why I felt so weird and so abnormal and not myself Sunday while I was at work. Everyone at work noticed I was acting different and not being myself. Like, I couldn't smile in front of the guests. I felt this wave of depression that I haven't felt in years. It was my bipolar symptoms coming up again that I've been medicating myself for all this time. I realized I forgot to take my meds, and I said, you guys, I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds. I sent them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep. Suggested that we all sleep together in the same bed together, but not the easiest person to sleep with. She rolls around, she punches, she kicks. We have a king size bed, and she typically sleeps on one side, and she'll end up on my side when we wake up.
Okay.
So I asked her, I'm like, no, please, I need a good night's sleep. If you guys can go upstairs and let me sleep. I had asked Stefan to take her to school in the morning.
That is red flag number 2. You said you forgot to take your meds, whatever. Okay, Jen, that's you. You didn't take your meds, that's you. But the good night's sleep part, really? If I had a kid, I would not sleep for my kid. Like, if I had a rough day at work, I'd be like, nope, my kid's sleeping with me, not my boyfriend. This is another red flag. I mean, why would you send her upstairs for a good night's sleep? Are you kidding me? You needed a good night's sleep. You chose good night's sleep over your daughter. And I see why they call you the deadbeat mother of the year. I wonder what the cops thought when she said they all slept together, or she sent him and her upstairs. Yeah, red flag. Exactly. Like, okay, I get, Maddie doesn't want to be herself. Maddie has anxiety. Understandable. Stefan should be a man, a normal man, and be like, you know what, Jennifer, you and Maddie stay in one room, I'll stay in another room. You know what I'm saying? Until Maddie gets the feeling of, okay, I can sleep by myself now, But even at that, Maddie didn't have her own room. She had a makeshift room. Make that make sense. Another thing is, why would you send your boyfriend? Like I said, he's not even your baby daddy. He's not even the biological father, to a room with your 13-year-old teenager.
Go to Sunday. So Sunday you took your meds. What meds, if you don't mind me asking, what meds do you take? And how does it put you to sleep deep? Does it help you fall asleep, or does it help regulate you? What kind of happens when you take the meds?
So they do all of the above. They make me sleepy. They help me stay asleep, and they help me function. So I'm stable all day. They only work well if I've got a good night's sleep and if I've eaten with them the night before when I take them, or the night I take them. The medication is called Geodon. Generic brand is called Zifrazidone. I took my meds, and then I told them to start getting ready for bed, to start heading upstairs and get ready, because it was already almost 11 o'clock. It's past her bedtime. She needs to go to sleep. So I sent them upstairs. I think he may have come down at one point to pee before bed, and then he went back upstairs. He uses my restroom because the roommates upstairs don't want to share a restroom with a male. Yeah, so he uses my restroom. Sorry, where did I
You're fine. Sunday night he came downstairs, maybe overnight to use the restroom.
Yeah, and then he went back upstairs and they went to sleep. Or I think they went to sleep.
Okay.
I went to sleep. I was woken up at some time. For the longest time, I've been saying he woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning because I assumed he was taking her to school and getting ready for school. But in reality, I don't know what time he woke me up. The sun was out a little bit. It was still a little dark. And I was very sleepy when I got up. I was kind of drunk. But he came in to walk the dog, to put the leash on the dog and walk him.
Was the dog in the room with you?
Yes.
So did he wake you up on purpose, or was it just kind of like the causation of him opening the door and you realizing somebody was there?
Yeah, the causation of him putting the leash on the dog, because the way the dog reacted, he gets very nervous and will urinate if you put the leash on him too directly. You have to be nice and talk to him. He's a nervous dog. Yeah. So I got up to try to help him, and he said, no, go back to sleep. I'm fine. I got this. And I said, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah." So I laid back down and went to sleep. I heard noise in the kitchen, but I'm not sure who it could have been getting ready. But it could have been Stefan. It could have been any of my roommates. I fell asleep again, and I didn't wake up.
Her what? Her hair part sticks out like dog balls. I can't unsee that. It does, right? Look at that. Let me zoom in on that. Can I zoom in on this? I want to zoom in on our head. God, I can't zoom in on it. That's funny. Oh, God.
I think until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Did you ever leave the bedroom in that time frame?
No.
So he came in, you were kind of awoken up based on him interacting with the dog, but you stayed in bed, you didn't leave the bedroom. So if you woke up at like 9, so you never
That morning.
Monday morning.
No.
So the last time you would have been Sunday evening? Okay. You're fine.
I want to see her.
Take a minute. Okay? While you take a minute,
Why are you
has anybody reached out to you during the
crying?
time that you've been investigating this? So don't have anything else? Negative, positive?
Look at
neutral?
them crocodile tears.
My best friends have all been in contact with me, just to try to help me there's like, setting up Facebook groups, flyers.
No negative interactions with the public or anything? Nobody's like reached out with tips or accusations or anything like that?
Not that I've seen. I've been avoiding social media because my family's telling me to not go on.
Would you be okay with our digital people looking at your phone to verify there's no stuff coming into socials, texts, things like that?
That's fine.
Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll plug it in, they'll do a forensic download of it so they have the data. That way they can go through it and say, we did receive things, we didn't receive things, here's the communications in and out, things like that, so we can verify that for you.
That's fine.
What's your password on it?
030288.
030288.
Oof.
Is that a birthday?
My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
My birthday's tomorrow.
Today's the first.
There she goes crying. Oh my god. Don't start fucking crying. Lots of anxiety in the house, including the dogs. If I have a feeling, because remember he was charged with bestiality, that could have been maybe the dog had anxiety because he was doing horrible things to those dogs. Crocodile tears, yeah. And as quickly as they started the tears, yeah. Those weren't even tears. I want to find the part where they confront her about. Oh my god, here she goes again. I don't want to hear her cry. Shut up, Jennifer. I want to hear the part where they confront her.
I was going to go out cruising that night to go look for her. And I said, I even questioned that. I asked him, are you sure it's a good idea? You should probably sit tight.
Did you live in Port Charlotte in 2020?
I don't remember what month I moved in, but I remember moving out in November.
Of 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was something. April, May.
I'm trying to find the part where they confront her about the picture. I'm trying to see if these people in the comments, put a timestamp. Okay, we're just gonna have to fend for ourselves and find it.
He said she was missing all day. And at this point, I started to panic and freak out because that can't be the case. She was dropped off. I had to go check her attendance at school, but the office had closed already. The lights were off. I could see a student sitting in there in the darkness, but I couldn't see any of the administrators.
That's what I'm saying. They put the big square over her phone, but leave her phone number unredacted. Exactly. Should I call it? I'm just kidding. When she's crying like those are crocodile tears. I'm trying to find where they tell her, where they like show her.
The videos, the text messages, the images,
There it
they're all
is.
documented forever.
Boom.
I saw him, and I heard something in the kitchen, but I don't know who that was.
Which we talked about today. But I guess there's other concerns. Right? You are nervous. The police have showed you their hand. They said, Stefan, we want your phone. Stefan, we want to talk to you. We're going to lock down your residence. You can't go back inside.
There it is.
Me? I don't care if it's the love of my life sitting next to me. I don't care if it's maternal grandma. If the police come and take my mom's phone and my son's disappearance, I'm not going to offer my mom a lawyer. That's nuts to me. That to me shows you prioritizing Stefan.
So right there, this is the part I wanted to tell you about. So when Stefan Stearns, when they said, oh, let me see your phone, whatever, Jennifer had advised him to get a lawyer, right? Now, her seeing the pictures and everything, her having to identify his junk in the trunk, she still went and told Stefan Stearns, hey, get a lawyer. And, that shows what type of a mother and what type of a person she is. This shows that Jennifer Soto was going to do anything to cover up Stefan Stearns and basically said, you know what, fuck Madeline. She because that's essentially what it is. Why are you going to tell a man here, get a lawyer, knowing that he had done all these things to your daughter? No, you would fight for your daughter. You wouldn't fight for the man who abused and hurt your daughter. And this is what BD is trying to tell her. Jennifer, why are you telling him, go get a lawyer? Don't say nothing, knowing that your daughter is missing. Your daughter was raped. Your daughter was all these things, and yet you prioritize a man over your child. This shows what type of a person Jennifer Soto is. Yeah, she chose the man over her daughter.
Because at that point, you became more worried about him being falsely accused than any. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Whether or not that's what you felt, does that make sense? People having lawyers is their constitutional right. That is a thing that everybody is afforded. But for somebody who's going through what you are going through, to offer him a lawyer leads me to believe that there may have been a conversation, there may have been knowledge, or there may have been some inclination that you had, whether it be his involvement, her location, or something to where in your mind there's guilt.
I promise you.
Because you offering him a lawyer is very weird.
I know. That was still me under the assumption that I think at one point you guys interviewed me, and when you guys showed me the picture of her, I believed the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her. I'm like, no, what if he did this stuff fine, but what if she's still missing out there? What if somebody.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me replay that.
The initial statement to the police was you watched her get dressed, you watched her leave, you knew exactly what she was wearing.
Can I tell you
Absolutely.
my thought process on that, or where I came from with that? I was handed this form, and I'm like, where do I start? What do I write?
Oh, did I go too far? God dang it. Oh, we gotta talk about that too.
Things you weren't comfortable with.
Actual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that what I wrote out. But it wasn't until later I was like, wait, I didn't see her. I assumed that I saw her.
Oh, let's talk about this and then we'll talk about the other one. Where was it? Right here.
How it happened or why it happened. Meaning, if you have an inclination, if you know where she's at, if his father knows, that doesn't mean those people get held accountable for what he did. It doesn't mean those people get held accountable for knowing what he did. It means we close out the investigation. You know what I mean? So a lot of times we go into rooms like this and we ask people questions. We say, hey, do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? And there's this fear of what happened already happened. I can't change that. So I'm not going to insert myself with knowledge because it's going to make me look bad.
Oh.
Regardless, at this point, I murdered her, right? He victimized her. He ruined her entire life from childhood until now. I think that there's probably some sense of guilt. And my fear is that sense of guilt is causing you to not want to assist in the location of her, not because you're a bad person, but because there's that sense of guilt that what was happening under your roof. And now, by her being found, brings that all to your plate, and it doesn't.
Oh no. If I knew anything, I would so tell you. I want to even if she's dead, because
yeah, right.
You guys tell me you're suspicious.
Oh, don't start crying.
But I'm not going to believe it until I have her body.
So there are things, and the reason I say these things, and again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but the reason I say these things
be an
is
asshole.
A lot of things you
be
said,
an asshole to her.
And a lot of things I've kind of researched between the Fox 35 story, between your initial.
So how does that work? She believed the sexual stuff, but not that he did it. I mean, so I think from what she's saying is she believed the sexual stuff. She believed it wasn't, from her words, evil, but she didn't want to believe it until, I guess, until she saw Maddie's deceased body. But Girl, how is sexual assault not evil? That's pure evil. That's nasty shit.
Initial
Come on,
statement
Jennifer.
to the police, a lot of things have changed.
Now he's going to
Initial
confront her
statement
about
to
her
the police
statements.
was you watched her get dressed, you watched her leave, you knew exactly what she was wearing.
Can I tell you
Absolutely.
my thought process on
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
or where I came from with that? I was handed this form, and I'm like, where do I start? What do I write? And somebody said, tell them what you saw. And so I started with I saw, and then I wrote out what I wrote out. But it wasn't until later I was like, wait, I didn't see her.
What did she say? She started with I saw. Hold on, Jennifer. We have your statement here. She said I saw. God dang it. Where the heck did it go? We just saw it. Jennifer. Was it the handwritten note one? No, that's the one the cop wrote. We were like, what the hell did he write? Or wait, was it this one? No, it wasn't that one. We just saw it. Where'd it go? There you go. Jennifer Soto's written report. Well, Miss Jennifer. Nasty. Yes, started with I saw Maddie before school, then later she remembered she didn't see her. Yeah. Today around 8 a.m., I saw Maddie getting ready for school. I'm not sure what time they departed. Stephen Stearns took her to school and dropped her off close to school on Town Loop Boulevard between Town Center Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane. Now let's go back to the video. Inconsistencies, you see?
I assumed that I saw her. I assumed that I heard her, but I didn't. In reality, I didn't see her.
Oh.
I only saw him, and I heard something in the kitchen, but I don't know who that was.
Which we talked about today. But I guess there's other.
So the kitchen thing, when she says she heard someone in the kitchen, could it have been she heard Stephen Stearns carrying Maddie's deceased body to the car? Because to this day, nobody has footage. Nobody knows how Stephen or what time Stephen moved Maddie's body from the car, from the house to the car. There's not even video ring camera. There's no surveillance footage of him carrying her to the car from the house to the car. There's only footage of him riding around with her or him putting her body in the trunk. But there's no footage or timestamp when he moved her body from the house to the car. That's still unknown to this day. PD's still trying to figure out, okay, when did Stephen Stearns move her deceased body? Because once they find that out, that'll give them the knowledge of, okay, this is the time he strangled Madeline Soto. Of course, the morgue can tell you, I guess the morgue can tell you when she was deceased, but I think with the timeline, it'll fit, okay, around this time, Stephen Stearns moved Madeline's deceased body from the guest bedroom to the car. So that noise she's saying that she heard possibly could have been him carrying her deceased body to the car. Now my question is, if he had the dog, where was the dog? If he was riding around town with her deceased body, where was the dog in this scenario? Did he really take the dog with him, or did he use the dog as a distraction?
Other concerns.
Yep,
Right. You were nervous.
They may have that in
the police have showed you their hand. They said, Stefan, we want your phone. Stefan, we want to talk to you. We're going to lock down your residence. You can't go back inside. Me? I don't care if it's the love of my life sitting next to me. I don't care if it's maternal grandma. If the police come and take my mom's phone and my son's disappearance, I'm not going to offer my mom a lawyer. That's nuts to me. That to me shows you prioritizing Stefan, because at that point you became more worried about him being falsely accused than any. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Whether or not that's what you felt, does that make sense? People having lawyers is their constitutional right. That is a thing that everybody is afforded. But for somebody who's going through what you are going through, to offer him a lawyer leads me to believe that there may have been a conversation, there may have been knowledge, or there may have been some inclination that you had, whether it be his involvement, her location, or something to where in your mind there's guilt.
I promise you. Like,
Because you offering him a lawyer is very weird.
I know. That was still me under the assumption that I think at one point you guys interviewed me, and when you guys showed me the picture of her, I believed the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her. I'm like, no, what if he did this stuff fine, but what if she's still missing out there? What if somebody took her? I still wanted to believe I believed him. I believed his whole story.
So she's saying, okay, she thinks the sexual assault was not evil. She believed and was fine from what she's saying what happened, but she thinks that someone kidnapped the daughter. What? How did? What? What story? I want to know, what story did Stefan tell you? What story did he tell you? I mean, because she says it right here.
If the police come and take my mom's phone and my son's disappearance, I'm not going to offer my mom a lawyer. That's nuts to me. That to me shows you prioritizing Stefan, because at that point you became more worried about him being falsely accused than any. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Whether or not that's what you felt, does that make sense? People having lawyers is their constitutional right. That is a thing that everybody is afforded.
Make him.
But for somebody who's going through what you are going through, to offer him a lawyer leads me to believe that there may have been a conversation, there may have been knowledge, or there may have been some inclination that
She
you
knew.
had.
She knew.
Whether it be his involvement.
A normal mother wouldn't offer someone who was raping their kid a lawyer. A normal mother wouldn't let a man who didn't even who's not even the biological father to their child, sleep with them in the same room. A normal mother wouldn't say, no, you go sleep with him. I need a good night's sleep. A normal mother wouldn't be like Jennifer Soto. Jennifer Soto knew, in my opinion, she knew. She's showing all the red flags and everything, saying that she knew. She said it herself, the sexual stuff is not evil. How is that not evil? And they even showed her the pictures of Stefan Stearns graping her daughter. And you're saying that's not evil? You're saying a grown man graping your daughter is not evil. This shows me what type of a disgusting person you are, Jennifer Soto. You are the scum of the earth. This is why everyone calls you the deadbeat mother of the year, because you prioritize a man over your own daughter, your own flesh and blood. You only get one chance at having a kid. I mean, some people are blessed with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You are blessed with one beautiful baby girl, and you let all these things happen to her. She didn't even have a childhood. She's not even alive to experience life, because you chose a man over your own daughter. You let this man grape your daughter and sexually assault her.
her location or something to where in your mind there's guilt?
I promise you. Like, I
Because
will-
you offering him a lawyer is very weird.
I know. That was still me under the assumption that I think at one point you guys interviewed me, and when you guys showed me the picture of her, I believed the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her. I'm like, no, what if he did this?
So she said it. She believed the sexual stuff, but she didn't want to believe that he did something to her or anything evil to her.
If the police come and take my mom's
Really, he's not. After everything you guys have told me,
nuts to me, that to me shows you prioritizing Steph.
How did she say it?
Because at that point you became more worried about him being falsely accused than any.
so I was just like, I kept repeating that part. I'm just like, what if she did get dropped off? What if she got abducted? What if we saw him? And I heard something in the kitchen, but I don't know who that was.
But going back on.
I'm trying to get that part where she's like, I didn't see anything evil. Right there.
Sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her. I'm like,
Okay, she believed the sexual stuff, but she didn't want to believe he did anything anything evil to her. You don't think sexual assault and rape is evil?
no, what if he did this stuff fine, but what if she's still missing out there?
She said, what if he did the stuff fine? And then what if she's still missing out there? Like someone kidnapped her. Are you freaking nuts? Are you that nuts?
What if somebody took her? I still wanted to believe I believed him. I believed his whole story. So I was just like, I kept repeating that part. I'm just like, what if she did get dropped off? What if she got abducted? What if she's missing? But that was me assuming that you guys had the wrong guy. I wanted to think he was a good guy still, but clearly he's not. After everything you guys have told me and have shown me, I know he's the worst person on this face of the
You know
earth
that
right
now. We know he's a piece of shit now.
You know.
But you didn't know that then.
Oh, now you're saying he's a piece of shit, but earlier you were saying, oh, you know, the sexual stuff's not evil. Oh my god.
I did it.
Then you offered a guy who the police suspected of kidnapping, abducting, assisting the disappearance. Offered him a lawyer. And then we don't have to roundtable that. You went back to what you just said is the sex stuff is fine.
It's not fine.
Hold on.
Oh, now it's not fine.
I know every relationship is different, and I know everybody's family is different. I won't ask. But going back on, has he expressed interest in? I'll use the word weird. I'm not going to shame anybody for what they like. Different sexual pleasures, different sexual experiences, different kinks that
This
involve.
is really
things
talking
people are
about their
comfortable
bed life.
The only thing he's ever expressed to me was like anal.
with. Okay.
He had an anal kink and like butts.
Okay.
But that was something I was never comfortable with or doing, and I let him know that like that's not something.
That's fine. You guys slept in the same bed together. Stephen was a big portion of your life at one point. Stephen was a big portion of your life at one point. And this is not me coming at you as a person or a bad person, because shit happens in the past. In the past, the past. We can't change the past.
So basically, you know, Stefan wanted rear end stuff and she didn't. So maybe this could be another thing. Maybe he saw Maddie and said, you know, Maddie's a teenager. Maddie doesn't know any of these things. I can use Maddie for the kinks that he wants. Still a good guy. Get fucked. Yeah. She's so fucking stupid. Okay.
Evidence on the phone coming out. They know. They know he's a piece of shit.
I'm trying to get just key points.
Stephen, think of places he would have dumped her body. Think of places he went, things you talked about, things you discussed, whether it's this week, last week, Don't put it in
They're
your mind
asking
that
her
you're being
about
victimized.
where do
Don't
they
put in
think
your
the
mind that
body
I'm
would
being
be
a dick.
located. Like, where would he dump it?
And what can I think about to find out where Stefan put her?
Look how she is. She's very. She's
You
not
know
all
more
there.
about where he goes, what he's doing, or what he would do than you want to realize. That's natural, not because I'm telling you, but because that's natural.
Oh.
Connectivity.
All right. So tonight I want you guys to watch the whole, or when you have time, the whole 2-hour interrogation, because I'm going to have some questions to ask you on Discord. Like, what was your reaction? What made you go, what the when you saw that? Now, I want to see a little bit of Maddie's, the room. Maddie's home, and then we're going to read one article, and then we're going to end it because we're at 2 hours. We've got a lot in 2 hours. Now, can you imagine Stefan? We're going to be here all night when we do Stefan. So I hope you guys are ready for Stefan Stern's part 2 next week. So let's watch a little bit of this.
13-year-old Madeline Soto lived in this condominium with her mom, Jennifer.
Hey,
Her mom's boyfriend, Stefan Stearns, occasionally stayed here too. These photographs taken by crime scene investigators show the place where prosecutors say Stearns sexually molested the teen and then murdered her.
very loving, very loving. This girl knows nothing but love.
The teen,
Right
and then
okay, so this is the room this is the guest bedroom upstairs that Stefan and Maddie were in that night. This is the room they would always go to. So this is the bed. I think somewhere up here he had like a pew. If I'm not
Stearns sexually molested the teen
see, that's the bed.
and then murdered her.
Very loving, very loving. This girl knows nothing but love here in this house. She hardly ever hears the word no. Double-edged sword that is.
The condo here at Venetian Bay Villages in Kissimmee is
Oh, it's
owned
called
by
Venetian.
Madeline Soto's grandfather. Court records indicate he rented out rooms in his condo to Madeline's mother, as well as at least 2 other tenants. Prosecutors believe evidence found inside that condo will help them bring justice for Madeline. When you enter the condo, the kitchen is on the left. On the right is the living room. In the living room, behind that divider wall, was Madeline's makeshift bedroom, which had a desk, a dresser, and a TV. Although there's also a bed, Jennifer Soto told detectives her daughter would not spend the night here.
She'll hang out there during the day, but she never sleeps there. She always sleeps with me. And then
Now that I'm thinking, this is coming to my mind. She didn't sleep in her makeshift room. There's a reason why she didn't sleep in her makeshift room and why she wanted to sleep with Jennifer. This is clicking in my head. It's not because of anxiety. It's because of something that she saw or endured that she didn't want. She wanted her mother to protect her. We all know what it is. She didn't want to sleep in her makeshift room because she knew Stefan Stearns was going to go in the middle of the night and do these horrible, horrendous acts that she never wanted to do. That's why she always wanted to sleep with Jennifer, because she knew, okay, my mom's here. My mom's going to protect me. He's not going to do nothing with my mom in the room. But Jennifer, being the dumb face that she is, said, no, Madeline, you're going to go sleep with Stefan because I need my good night's sleep. And that's when Maddie knew, fuck, I'm going to have to do what Stefan wants me to do. That's a reason why, Jennifer, if you didn't realize this is the reason why she never wanted to sleep in her room. She was always there in the day and she wanted to be with you at night because she was scared. She was scared. She endured it. I mean, if she was getting raped when she was so Stefan and Jennifer were together for 7 years. Maddie would have been 6. if he was grooming her since she was 6 years old, that's a sign that, hey, something's wrong. That should have been the sign for Jennifer to be like, okay, what's wrong with you? Because no normal teenager would want to sleep with their parents without a probable cause, and that's the probable cause. Maddie was enduring this sexual abuse. That's why she wanted to sleep in the same room with Jennifer, because she knew, okay, I'm sleeping with my mom. He can't hurt me with my mom in the middle of us, right? That's, in my opinion, I think that's when Maddie got a good night's sleep, was when they were sharing the room together, the three of them, because she knew, okay, my mom's in the middle. Stefan can't touch me. Stefan can't do these things with me without my mom waking up and seeing. Not unless he drugged Jennifer Soto to the point where she can't recognize anything, where she's in a deep sleep, then yeah, maybe then. But this is Maddie's call to you, Jennifer, saying, hey, Mom, I need you. Something's wrong. This guy's weird. He's doing these things to me. I need you. And Jennifer didn't see that. Jennifer just said, it's because she has anxiety. It's her anxiety. It's not her anxiety. This is her calling out to you, saying, hey, I feel uncomfortable being by myself. This man's going to hurt me. And Jennifer didn't see that.
And the rare occasion upstairs, but most of the time it's with me.
This is Jennifer Soto's bedroom, located on the first floor. Jennifer Soto told detectives she often shared the room with her daughter and her boyfriend.
A lot of times we will sleep together in the king-size bed, all three of us.
But Jennifer Soto says she would occasionally send her daughter upstairs to sleep in a guest bedroom with Stearns. That room has one bed in the corner and locks on the door. This is where Stearns reportedly spent the night with Madeline just before she was reported missing.
You see,
just before she was locks on the door. This is where Stearns reported.
Why would he have locks on the door? Are you hiding some? This is another red flag. He had locks on the door because he knew once Maddie was in that room and he locked that door, he was in control. She can't get out because he has the deadbolt lock. That's another reason why he had the pew in here, because he knows if he had that pew, he's basically in control. She's basically gonna do what he tells her to do. And Jennifer didn't think why does my boyfriend have a deadlock in his room? Homie, all you need is a little lock. You don't need a whole deadlock. Are you freaking kidding? A dungeon, yeah. It's like a dungeon. And wanted a man more than actually protecting her child. Yeah, she wanted the man more than protecting her child. Yeah, he made it seem like a dungeon, made it seem like he was in control.
Reportedly spent the night with Madeline just before she was reported missing.
Is it normal for both of them to sleep in the same room? Sometimes. When I really need a good night's sleep, I will send them upstairs. 2
additional bedrooms rented out by other tenants are also upstairs. Detectives say they found nude photographs of one of those tenants on Stearns' cell phone. According to investigators, Stearns had placed his phone under the tenant's door, similar to this, and snapped images of the naked woman in her bedroom. Detectives say Stearns' phone also contained images of him sexually molesting Madeline. According to authorities, bedding from Madeline's makeshift room downstairs can be seen in the background of those molestation videos. Detectives say this pair of men's boxer shorts found in a laundry basket in Madeline's room also appear in the sex abuse images.
See what I mean? Peeping Tom too. Yeah, so it's all alleged, but allegedly when Stefan was younger, some friends came out, allegedly said that Stefan would use his his glory water, his cum. He would put it in vials, and then he would go to parties and then put that in drinks in the females to get them pregnant. There was also reports of him being weird to his ex-girlfriends. He would also do those kinks of, they had to act dead when they were having the bedroom activities. There was also, he was a peeping Tom too. There was accounts of people saying allegedly he was a peeping Tom and that his parents knew about it and his parents did nothing. I think one occasion someone did try to sue him, and the parents ended up paying them off so that they wouldn't send Stefan to jail. Deborah and Chris Stearns, you're fuck faces, and you should have sent your son to jail. But yeah, so basically, this is from what they're saying. Stefan Stearns did grape Maddie in her little makeshift room. And this is why the underwears were here. And this is where Jennifer Soto should have seen this as a red flag, as, okay, why is your boxers, your dirty drawers in my daughter's basket? So he did horrible acts to her. So you can imagine, because, you know, Jennifer worked, and the roommates, to me, it seemed like the roommates were never there. So you can only imagine how much alone time him and Maddie spent together, and all the horrendous, nasty stuff that he did to her. You can imagine Summer, someone has to stay with Maddie. If, the roommates and Jennifer's working, it would be Stefan. So Maddie endured a lot of abuse when nobody was around or when people were asleep. Now, if Stefan Stearns' dungeon room was by the roommate's room, my concern is, how did the roommates not hear anything? I mean, they should have heard something. You know what I'm saying? Unless Stefan told Maddie, you better shut up, or he strangled her when he was doing these horrendous acts. But yeah, it is crazy.
Crime scene investigators collected this notebook, which has sexually explicit drawings that are sketched on the same paper as algebra equations.
On Sunday night, y'all went to bed around 11, and the reason that you sent her up.
So basically, Maddie drew out what she had to do to Stefan, and, you saw it in the picture.
Upstairs with Stefan was because you had work in the morning, was it? Or you just started a new job?
I just started a new job and I haven't been sleeping well. I take psychiatric meds every night for my bipolar disorder. And if I don't take them the right way, eat, and go to sleep on time,
they don't work.
Sunday I was not myself. So I asked them, like, hey, I need to be medicated. I need to sleep. Can you take care of the morning duties so I can go and sleep?
According to investigators, Jennifer Soto sent a text message to Stearns at 11:39 that read, "Make sure she goes to bed."
I love how they put this picture of her. She looks like the fucking Grinch. I'm sorry, but I just had to point it out. She looks like the Grinch. I'm sorry.
Right now. About a minute later, Stearns replied, "She's built her nest and she's settling in now."
What time did you wake up? I'm going to say around 8 o'clock in the morning. Stefan came into the room.
When Jennifer Soto woke up, she says she thought Madeline might still be in the condo.
I heard noises in the kitchen, but I'm not sure,
Not sure who it was exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It could have been any of the roommates.
Jennifer Soto told detectives she never actually saw Madeline that morning and assumed.
You see how Maddie looks so tired? Like, she has the raccoon eyes. This is red flag number, I don't remember. We did so many red flags. But this should be your sign that, hey, my daughter has raccoon eyes. There's something going on. Look at her. She looks pale. I'm going to show you a before and after of Maddie.
Soon Stearns was taking her to school.
I had an appointment. I had a doctor's appointment at like 10:15, but they took a while. And then by the time they did my blood work and whatever, I think I got home somewhere between 11 and 11:15.
Okay. When you got back, was Stefan here?
I'm pretty sure he was, yeah.
Sadly, by then, detectives believed Madeline was already dead. But where was she and what happened to her? Before investigators could answer those questions, they discovered Stearns took a mysterious round-trip drive to Southwest Florida early in the morning. Next on Justice for Madeline, we'll show you where detectives say Stearns went that night and what investigators think he did there.
So this is the photo of, like, Maddie. You see how Maddie looks like she's so, like, full of life. She's calm. She's smiling. You don't see like the raccoon eyes as much compared to this photo where she's pale. You see the raccoon eyes. She's tired. She's not what a teenager would look like. She's tired. She's seen some things. You know, Maddie's endured things. I mean, even here, I mean, she's like lost. She's not a happy little girl. See, like, you know, here she looked like she was happy, but if you look at like this picture of her from her party, she's not happy. She's not Maddie. Yeah, she has the sad eyes, you know, and that should be a sign, you know, like, you know, what's wrong with my daughter, you know? But even then, Miss Jennifer Soto, you didn't. There's so many goddamn red flags. You can even give Jennifer Soto a red flag, and I think she still wouldn't pay attention to it. So let's read this last article. There's two. We'll read the New York Post one. Like I said, if you want to read the articles or if you want to see the 2-hour interrogation of Jennifer Soto, that's your homework. Remember, you have homework to watch the whole 2-hour interrogation when you have time of Jennifer Soto. It's all on Discord. It's under Jennifer Soto. When you look up true crime cases, look for Jennifer Soto and you'll see it. It's there. I want you guys to see it, and I want you guys to give me your opinion on it and what you guys think. It's crazy how she said, you know, it's not evil. The sexual stuff is not evil. Yeah, okay. I told you guys I was gonna show you what kind of a mother Jennifer Soto is. That's not even a mother. That's a deadbeat. Okay, so Madeline Soto's mom knew boyfriend was grooming and abusing Maddie. So Madeline Soto's mother, Jennifer Soto, allegedly told police that she knew that her boyfriend was grooming and abusing her daughter before he was accused of killing her. The body of Madeline Soto was found in rural Osceola County on March 1st, 4 days after she was first reported missing when she failed to arrive to school on February 26th. In an interview with detectives from the day the teen's body was discovered, Maddie's mom, Jennifer Soto, says she believed her 37-year-old boyfriend, Stephen Stearns, was guilty of unaliving her daughter, and according to supplement report obtained by Fox. So this is Maddie and Jen. When pressed about why she believes Stearns supposedly murdered her daughter, Jennifer Soto explained that she knew he's been grooming and abusing my child. So Jennifer Soto said that she knew he's been doing these horrendous acts to Madeline Soto. That right there should at least give her, child neglect? And if you're wondering, no, they never charged Jennifer Soto. Jennifer Soto is still free and walking to this day. PD even said it themselves. They don't have concrete proof to prove that they need to put Jennifer Soto in jail behind bars. This is the proof. I mean, she said it herself. She knew he's been, grooming her and doing all these horrendous acts. Her statements are inconsistency. Her daughter was trying to reach out for her for help, and you don't think that's a charge, at least child neglect, to keep her in there? Yeah, she knew. Yeah, so Jennifer Soto, you knew, but you didn't stop it. Why? Why didn't you stop it? At the time of the interview, Stearns was in jail on unrelated charges of child abuse material that police discovered on his phone during the investigation into Madeline's disappearance. Stearns claims to have last seen the teen when he dropped her off near her middle school in the morning of February 26th. Jennifer Soto told detectives that Stearns was a master liar, but that she initially did not want to believe that he was connected to her daughter's disappearance. So you think, okay, you knew he groomed her, but you don't think that he made her disappear? Jennifer, do you have a brain? Does your brain work? The concerned mom changed her mind after officers showed her evidence photos of what appeared to be Madeline's lifeless body slumped over in Stearns' car on the same day he claimed to have left her near school. When detectives told Jennifer Soto that the investigation was shifting from a missing persons case to a homicide probe, she was silent for a few moments and started to cry. Oh, here comes the crocodile tears. When the investigators asked her if she thought Stearns killed her daughter, she admitted that at this point, I do. The arrest affidavit published in March suggested that Stearns started actually abusing Maddie when she was just 11 years old. In the latest reports, authorities allege that Jennifer Soto admitted to prioritizing her boyfriend over her daughter's safety. At one point, she supposedly told officers that the X stuff, meaning actual abuse of Madeline perpetrated by Stearns, was not evil. However, she admitted that her daughter's murder was evil. So you're saying the actual abuse stuff is not evil, but her murder is evil? No. It appeared to me that she had already accepted that the victimization was happening and her emotions appeared fictitiously, one detective assessment threat. During an earlier interview on the second day of the investigation, Jennifer Soto also admitted that she let Stearns share a bed with her young child. Sometimes when I needed a good night's sleep, I would send him upstairs to sleep together. But when I'll also at times we would sleep together in the king size bed, all three of us, or sometimes Stefan would go upstairs and share a bed alone. So it just really depends on what's going on the night of our schedules and what we're doing, she explained. Even after Stearns and Soto broke up, she told cops she allowed him to keep living with her and her daughter because she trusted him. Really? So, my God. So even if they broke up, she still let Stefan go and live with them. My God, she's not normal. She's not normal. She's not normal. On February 29, police interviewed a woman who had a brief relationship with Stearns in 2022. The unnamed woman told investigators that she broke off the relationship because Stearns insisted on returning to the Soto's house every night to sleep, claiming that the mother and daughter could not sleep without him. So basically, Stefan was having a relationship with this woman, and he told the woman, I have to go to Jennifer's house because they can't sleep without him. No. You went to that house because you wanted to go do those things to Maddie. On March 7th, two of Jennifer Soto's roommates told detectives they heard noises coming from the upstairs bedroom where Stearns and Madeline were allegedly sleeping alone the night before the teen vanished. Boom, this is what I needed. So the roommates heard noises. Did the roommates not find it weird that this grown-ass man was sleeping with this 13-year-old girl? Like, did they not find it weird? Jennifer Soto was supposedly sleeping in a separate room at that time. Despite the mom's apparent admissions and connections with the abuse and killing of her daughter, authorities have repeatedly said that they are not looking to charge anyone else in this case. They should charge Jennifer Soto. On the morning of Madeline's disappearance, Stearns was captured on video dumping items in the trash can on the property. So that's when he dumped her backpack and her school laptop. She died of strangulation. Stearns also faces 40 counts of unlawful possession of materials depicting actual performance by a child, 10 or more images, 5 counts of actual battery with a child 12 to 18, 7 counts of lewd or lascivious molestation, and 8 counts of actual battery on a child under 12. I think I have his Oh snap. His counts. I think I do. I know I do. It's somewhere in here. Stephen Stearns. It's like 60 counts. There it is, the charges. What are you guys saying? Keeps him around. She's the type of woman that feels she doesn't exist unless she has a man and will let the man do anything to keep him. Yeah. They still might, or they've given her a deal to testify in court. Maybe. I mean, shoot, I would freaking put her in jail. I'd leave her in there, throw the key, and never give it back. So let's look at his counts real quick. So, of course, he has the actual batteries. He has 6 counts. Then he has the actual battery with a child 12 to 18. He has... Hold on, let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 counts. Then he has the one lewd or lascivious station. And he has these as well. He has unlawful possession of materials depicting actual, He has all these counts. He has the unlawful possession. He has a lot. I feel like he's going to be charged with all those images he has. It doesn't show the bestiality one. But I remember they said he had charged him with bestiality. And you see, it went back as far as 2019 when they found a video or image of him doing this. He stuck his manhood in her mouth. Back as of 2019, same thing. They're charging him for everything he had did. You see, 2019, his what in one of her, count 4, 2022. He had his what in her where. Same thing, 2022. Same thing here in 2022 in August. Same, he had his what where. I think in every count he did, it's gonna tell you where the date, 2023, where it was, 2023. It went all the way back to 2019. So can you imagine the other stuff that we didn't see? The stuff that's not shown, essentially, from when she was younger. Remember, they've been dating for 7 years. Maddie was 6 when they started dating. We did the math. Can you imagine the things that, like, how long has that been? Yeah, he's a sicko. See, he did this. He put his, his hands in her where. 2019 again. He, made her do this. 2019, he made her do that. 2022, he did this. 2022, he did that. It's just things that Stefan did. That's very much so disgusting. Am I still alive? It's giving me an issue. Did I get copyrighted? I'm gonna cry if I got copyrighted. It'll tell me on my end. It'll tell me on my end. Oh no, I'm still alive. Okay. I was like, wait, I got copyrighted, but I didn't. Okay. So, I mean, that Stephen Stearns is one sick man. And, you know, Jennifer Soto did nothing. She basically chose the man over her own flesh and blood. And it's sad, you know. Maddie went through so much abuse, and, you know, I know Maddie's getting the justice she deserves because Stefan is behind bars, but I hope they charge Jennifer Soto in this case. But we're going on 2 hours and 46, almost 3 hours. We did good tonight. It's midnight here in Texas. So I'm going to end it. This is the ending of part 3 of the Madeline Soto case where we talked about Jennifer Soto. We will have a live on Stephen Stearns June the 23rd on Monday. We'll have a live on Stephen Stearns. That'll be part 2 where we talk about all of his affidavits, his backgrounds, and everything. And then the next day we'll do how the family reacted, how her friends reacted, things like that. But tomorrow, later today, June 17th, we are going to do a live tonight about the Ocean Gate Titan submersible. I do want to talk about it because I saw the documentaries and I said, oh, you know, I haven't seen anyone talk about it recently. So we're going to talk about the Titan submersible tonight. So I'll be live again tonight around 9:40ish for a little bit, probably just an hour. But yeah, this concludes the Madeline Soto case, part 3. We'll be back next week to talk about part 4 and 5, but tomorrow we're going to talk about Titan submersible. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for my replay crew. I love you all so much. Have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.